Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NFL Weekly Picks with your boy B Buck, Mr. Tom Maria Sports. Week 18, we're here for it, guys. The last week of the regular season of the 2025 NFL season. Mr. Tom, what up, brother?
Big Buck.
You?
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, bro. Happy New Year to you. All the viewers, this is literally being filmed at 1 o'clock a.m., January effing 1st, 2026, year of our Lord. Wow.
Exciting. And could be the start to potential Niners playoff run. That's all I'm going to say
Could be.
for you, my friend.
Hey, we were pretty close in predicting the playoffs last year, but hey, that's a story for next week and future videos. Like I said, week 18, we're here last week of the regular season, which we've done pretty good up till now. Speaking of Mr. Tom, last week, week 17, I went 22 of 48. Not the best, but not too bad. 2 of 3 on the confident picks. I'll take it. You went 27 of 48. Pretty darn good. 2 of 3 on the confident picks. A little above 50% for me, or at 50%, a little less, way over 50% for you. If we do good this week, we're going to tally them all up for the final full season recap. See how we did. I know we were sitting kind of good at the midseason recap, and we've had some good weeks since then. So let's finish strong here, brother. But nevertheless, congrats on a good week last week as well.
Thank you, man. I'm excited, but this is, as we talk about, week 1, week 18.
Yeah.
2 toughest weeks of the season, arguably, right? So, got to finish strong. We got a lot to go over and a lot of discussion to be had because there's a lot of weird matchups, scenarios, people playing, people not playing. So, let's get into it, man. Let's do it.
Great. Thank you for reminding the viewers. You're right. Week 1 and week 18 are very tricky. Thankfully, this week we have a lot of games with playoff implications, and it's a fun one. So we'll go over it with all of you guys and all of it. So let's do it. All right, guys. Week 18 starts off with Saturday games. 2 games that winning in for the playoffs. Very interesting. Very cool. First one is for the NFC South. Rivals Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but this game is in Tampa Bay. Who's going to win and make the playoffs for the 2025 season? Guys, before I get into this one, I was thinking about it. You've watched our videos. You know our takes on both these teams. I love the Bucs. They haven't looked that great since the midway point of the season, and they still don't look too great. I don't know what's up with Baker. Panthers, the most inconsistent up and down team in the whole league. So go figure that now they're playing each other to win a division that they're both in and to go into the playoffs. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. My take on this game, and this is just coming from your boy B-Buck, Panthers should win. Panthers, I feel like, have the talent to win. But they've just been so inconsistent, and I don't like that the game is in Tampa Bay. That's just kind of my take on it. I don't really know where the money's going. I don't know what a lot of the majority's thinking. But right away, I'm going to give the Panthers the 2.5. And I hope they win. They should win. But something really weird is telling me that the Panthers had so many chances to close this out and already be in the playoffs and win the division. They couldn't do it. And now, of all times, the Bucs, who should not be there, could win and go in. I feel like the Bucs might sneak it in. They're at home. If Baker's healthy enough to play, the rest of the team's healthy enough to play, they're going to come hard this game, guys. And they can beat the Panthers, unfortunately, especially in Tampa Bay. So I'm taking the Bucs to win. I'm giving the Panthers the 2.5. I think it's going to be close. I would like to see the Panthers to win, but we're going to find out. And as far as over under 43.5, if there was ever a game for these teams to put up points, this is the one. So I'm going over 43.5. Neither of their defenses are that scary to me. What do you think, Tom?
All right, we're zagging a little bit right from the beginning this time. I'm going to start with what I do agree with. I do like the Panthers plus 2.5. I actually think they've just been, both these teams have been inconsistent. Buccaneers have been really bad after starting the season, I believe 5-2 or maybe even 5-1. And I don't like where they're heading. I don't like where they're trending. Now, they have the pieces, they have the guys to get it done. I just think the Panthers are going to do it. I don't know why. I think they're going to come out. They're going to play their best game, or a better game than they've played, especially last week against a tough Seattle defense. Their defense is strong, Carolina's. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to go into Tampa, shock a lot of people, and win this one. So I'm taking them plus 2.5. taking the under 43.5,
Ooh.
and I'm taking the Panthers money line, plus money line right off the bat. But I feel pretty good about this. I feel like Carolina gets their playoff ticket. Bryce Young has one of the better games of his young career. They do just enough in a really close, lower scoring game.
That's it, man. I wish I had the confidence like you because I like the Panthers team, but they just, been so up and down. All right, speaking of fun games, Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers to win the NFC West, arguably the best division in football, and to go to the playoffs. And actually, let's not forget, for the 1 seed in the powerhouse NFC. That's crazy. Tom, you have one chance to answer this one correctly. And if you don't answer it the way I want you to answer it, we're not friends anymore. All right? And we can't do these picks anymore. Guys, listen, I'm a Niners fan, but look at the way they've both been playing. I think both these teams might be on a 5, and the Seahawks might even be on a 6 or 7 game win streak. This is insane that they're playing right now, last game of the season, to win the 1 seed and the division. I like the way the Niners been playing. They're at home. They're hot. They beat the Seahawks week 1, but that was with Bosa and their full defense. Now they have no defense, but the offense has looked so good since Purdy's been back and since Shanahan's been on point. Seahawks, they look good too, but something about the Niners' momentum has just been tremendous to watch recently. Niners over, because me not taking their over for the first time in 2 years came back to bite me in the ass last Sunday night. It's one of the highest scoring games ever. We thought it was going to be a defensive battle. Niners over, getting 1.5 at home. Red hot Niners. That's my take. What's your take on this one, brother?
So, taking the Niners, plus 1.5. We talked about it before. I made the joke in the video. Their offense is just a well-oiled machine right now. They look so good offensively. And Seattle, I believe in their defense. I don't fully believe in their offense. I'm still not. I like Sam Darnold. He's played well. Still not all in on the Sam Darnold experiment. I think, if it's JSN or bust, and if you can shut him out, you can beat them. And they don't run the ball, I think, as effectively as they could or should. So, Niners defense is vulnerable. I'm going to take the over with you as well because of that.
Yeah.
And I think the Niners can score on anybody at this point. But it's going to be a tight one. It should be a fun one. Can go either way, but I'm going to take San Fran at home to win this,
Ooh.
and I'm taking them plus 1.5, obviously, with that.
I respect it. Yeah, that Niners defense is vulnerable. All right, guys. Moving into the Sunday slate of games, and there's only Sundays because Week 18, I don't think there's any more Monday games or Thursday.
Nope.
So Saturday and Sunday, Week 18, last week of the 2025 NFL season. Tennessee Titans, who played pretty valiantly against the Saints last week, might add. It was a pretty good game. Taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team no one saw coming. So, 7-game win streak now, whatever the heck it is. They beat the Broncos. They keep rolling. Now they got the Titans at home to arguably play for the 1 seed in the AFC, which is a pretty crazy scenario. I'm pretty sure they're playing their starters because they have a lot to play for. Keep the momentum riding. Trevor Lawrence playing lights out recently. I like the Jaguars to win this one. As far as over-under 47.5, Titans have been a lot of high-scoring games, and so have the Jags. I feel like I should take the over, but the Jaguars' defense isn't too bad, guys. Let's not sleep on them either. Man, I'm gonna take the over. Reluctantly take the over. Jaguars to win. As far as minus 12.5 for the Jags at home, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Titans have been playing good. They've been covering spreads for whatnot, but the Jaguars are a whole different animal at home. I can see them winning by maybe more than 12.5. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think important note here, for people wondering scenarios, whatever, there's an article, and maybe we can link it in the description box at the video we uploaded, but NFL Week 18 scenarios on Yahoo Sports. It's great, and it kind of has all the updates on who's playing, who's not playing, what each team's playing for. Me and Buck went through it before the video, so we'd definitely check it out to the viewers watching, just to kind of, before you make any bets here. But like you said, big game for the Jags. They're playing for something. Important game at home. Titans are really just playing for pride. That being said, I'm sure the Titans would like to play spoiler, and they're in their division, all that good stuff. So could be maybe a little bit tighter than expected, but I like what the Jags have done. They know what they got to play for here, so I'm taking them minus 12.5. I'm taking the over 47.5. I feel like the Titans will probably get some garbage time points. Jags might get up to an early lead. Lawrence has played really, really well over the last month or so. So I like them to win. I like this to be a higher scoring game, and I like the Jags to win outright.
And the Jags to win outright?
Yep, and cover the spread at 12.5.
They should do it. Come on. Don't fail us this week. We need to get our picks up. All right. Indianapolis Colts. Once at the top, now at the very bottom. Phil Rivers retired. That's how bad they've been recently. I blame Sauce Gardner. Let's send them more hate, some more rage bait. And then taking on, ready for this? The team that I'm actually surprised isn't the 1 seed or talked about as much in the AFC. The powerhouse Texans. Have they lost since Davis Mills has been in? Are they on a freaking 7-game win streak too?
I don't think so. They were 3-5. Now they're 11-5. So I'm pretty sure they won each straight.
Dude, this may be the best defense in the league.
I think so.
Another heavy favorite, and it's at home. I like the Texans to win outright. What's the deal with their starters? You see it over there? I didn't write that one down. I'm assuming they're playing them all.
Yeah, they're playing because they have the chance at winning the division if the Jaguars lose, so they're going for that.
You know what, guys? Yeah. With Rivers not playing and the Richardson still being hurt, I'm actually going to take the under here, believe it or not. I think it's one of those games where, like, 21-7. You know what I mean? Maybe the offense just does enough, and then they close it out for whatever it's worth. Try not to get anyone hurt before the playoffs. That's important, too. You have to remember that. I like the Texans. I like the under. And then I'm going to take the -10.5. It's scary, but Week 18 is a whole different animal. You know what I mean? What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, it is. I'm going to ride it with you. I'm going to take Texans -10.5, and I'm going to take the under, which is a little bit reckless with a 38.5 under with a 11-point spread, essentially. But
one of them worked for us last week.
I think this game, I wouldn't be shocked if this game ends up being a final score of like 20-7 or like 24-10 or something of that nature. So I like the Texans to roll here. Defense shows up as they've done pretty much all season, and I think they get a comfortable win at home.
That's it, guys. All right, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants. Tom's going to be watching this game very keenly. He's very... This one. Actually, Tom was saying let him know the crazy scenario for the Giants getting the number 1 pick in the draft.
Oh, gosh.
It's a mouthful.
The Giants obviously they have to lose, and the Raiders have to lose. They also need 2 of either the Seahawks, Falcons, Browns, or Bears to lose. And if that happens, if 2 of those teams, as I just listed off, then the Giants could potentially get that number 1 overall pick. But I'm not counting on it. They had their chance last week, so.
Yeah, guys, they ended up beating the Raiders. But you know what, man? With them still having an opportunity to get the number 1 pick, and here they are as underdogs, which is kind of crazy. But it is the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Cowboys aren't the Raiders. They're at least better than the Raiders. I'm going to say the Cowboys win. Giants aren't retarded. You know what I mean? They know they need another coach. If they can somehow get this 1 pick, that's good, especially with the team looks good with Neighbors there, Dart and Scatterville. Cowboys, who knows what's going on with them? They might need a whole new owner for whatever it's worth. Maybe a new QB in the near future for the Cowboys. Who knows? As far as over under 51.5, I took the Cowboys to win. I'm going to take the under here, guys. I can see like a weird Week 18 game between these two. You know what I mean? Where it's like 20, both in the 20s range. Like it doesn't go over 45. But hey, it's a pretty high over under. Maybe they know something I don't. I wouldn't want to risk hurting CeeDee Lamb, you know what I mean, or a crazy player at this point in the season. And then I like the Cowboys to win by 3.5. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I read something that the Cowboys are playing their starters, but maybe not the whole game, which I was like, that's weird. But
yeah,
I mean,
that is dumb.
For Cancun, like, hey guys, we need you in flag football league, right? But I like the under as well. I think the Giants' defense under Charlie Bowen is definitely a little bit better than it was with Shane Bowen, which is, I mean, not saying too much because he was terrible, but I think it's a little bit better. And like you said, it's a weird Week 18 matchup, but I still like the Cowboys -3.5, and I still think some points will be scored. I'm seeing like a 28-21 type of win for Dallas, but I like Dallas to win in New York and cover the 3.5-point spread.
And you said the under 51.5?
Yeah, I'm going with the under. Yeah, I think it'll be I think the Giants will have more trouble scoring than Dallas will.
I'm gonna let you go first on this one, just because I'm curious to hear your take on the Bengals. A very summed up version of your take on the Bengals' future. What do you think of the Cleveland Browns taking on their rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals?
Well, the Browns always play the Bengals pretty well, especially in Cleveland. This one's in Cincy, so a little bit different. Because of that, I'm taking them plus 7.5. I like the Browns. Their defense looked good last week. They've been up and down, but they've had some really good moments. Neither team's really playing for much besides pride, but I know Garrett wants that sack record, so keep an eye on that. Burrow came out and said they're not going to purposely try to avoid it. They're just going to go play football and try to win. So that'll be interesting. But I like the under in this game as well. I think the Browns kind of struggle scoring, and the Bengals defense has played a little bit better. And the Bengals have had their struggles against the Browns in the past. So I kind of see this one being a little bit lower scoring, but I like the Browns to cover, but I still like the Bengals to win. I think the Bengals will win at home. I think something to keep an eye on with their future, and this is a long conversation, so I'll make it really quick so we can get through everything here. What do they do with Burrow moving forward? I don't think they're going to trade him, but just not this year, but if another bad year like this happens next year, just keep an eye on that is all I'm saying. Just keep an eye. They're paying a lot of guys a lot of money on offense. They're a cheap organization, and they're not winning. Eventually, they're going to get frustrated, right? So if the Rams are a team with extra first-round picks come calling, you never know what could happen, right? But I'm just planting a tiny seed maybe for 2027. That's all I'm saying when it comes to the Bengals. And Burrow's already expressed frustration and had some weird comments this year. So if they have another rough, I think this year nothing happens, but if we get to next year and they go, 6 wins, 5 wins, 7 wins, there's going to be a shakeup for sure on the offensive side. So let's just put a pin in that, and I'll let you make your picks. But just wanted to plant that little seed as we start 2026.
Really early predictions for next year, 2 years away. Matt, guys, you heard it here first, guys, from the guru himself. Listen, man, you're more optimistic than me. Shoot, I feel like if he's not traded by the start of next season, I would be surprised. Or if not, if they don't look good 4 games in next year, if that offensive line is still terrible, if they're not giving him the pieces he needs, at least to keep him upright and then help on defense, he's going to request a trade, sit out. I wouldn't be surprised if he's one of those training camp situations. I don't know. At least that's my team. He has a lot of good football still in him, for a few teams in this league. And it sucks because I like the Bengals, but they've done him wrong. And then with that also said, Garrett gets 5 sacks this week and blows the record out of the water. That would be sick. That'd be crazy. All right, Browns, Bengals, Bucks take. I do love what Tom said, guys. The Bengals are always in shootouts. Bad defense, great offense. The Browns are a different animal. And it's a division rival. I like that under 2. That might be a sneaky pick right there. I like that under. I really hope that comes through. Under 44.5. Bengals, Browns, as far as winning. Yeah, I'll take the Bengals. Chase Browns look better. The team, maybe this is their last chance to get the vibe right, before they go into the offseason. Browns, they have a promising future with the young QB. If they can get their running back, I think I already read something that he should be plenty healthy before start of training camp. He's a stud. Their defense always looks good. Browns are actually in a better position than the Bengals right now. It's pretty crazy. And then as far as 7.5, yeah, actually, I'm with Tom on all of them. I like the Browns getting 7.5 on the road. They've been playing tough, this whole season. Green Bay Packers resting their starters, I'm pretty sure, or playing half the game.
They're not playing. No, I think they're resting everybody. This game means nothing to them.
Okay, so they're locked into the 7th seed.
Decided yet, but they're locked into the 7th seed in the NFC. So This game really doesn't mean anything. It'd be kind of silly for them to play their starters.
Which isn't a great place to be. That's a scary place to be. And then they're taking on the Minnesota Vikings, who, guys, out of nowhere, got another resurgence. I feel like they've played better in recent weeks, at least the second half of the season. And here they are. The Vikings are -7 favorites against the no-starter Packers. I like the Vikings to win. I think the Vikings will win. I'm going to go under. Listen, this is really insane. 35.5. When I see something that low, no rhyme or reason to it, I'm going under just because I feel like the majority of the public's nailing that over. Under. They wouldn't be that low unless they know something we don't. You know what I mean? At least it's my take. And the Vikings defense has looked better. As far as winning by 7, I didn't like the way their backup looked without Love. And we made such a stupid choice a couple weeks back when the Packers played the Ravens in the battle of the backups, because the Ravens backup QB actually had games under his belt and he looked good. I didn't like the way the Packers backup QB looked. So I'm going -7 for the Vikings too. What do you think, Tom?
I'm zagging. I'm disagreeing. I like Malik Willis. I thought he added some good moments for the Packers. I don't like Brosmer, or whatever the hell his name is, Brosmer, the Vikings quarterback.
With the 70 yards passing, Brosner.
I'm not. Vikings defense is really good, and they'll give the Packers offense fits. That's why the under is as low as it is, 35.5. But I'm taking the Packers +7 here, and I'm taking the over, 35.5.
Ooh.
Slight cover, but I'm taking the over. I think this one will just get over. But I'm going to take the Vikings money line. I think this will be a really close game back and forth. But I think the Vikings will eke it out. But, yeah, neither team really playing for much besides pride at this point. So if you're gambling on this, maybe call the hotline. Maybe not. But just be careful. That's all I'll tell you.
New Orleans Saints, who came back and stole one against the Titans. A game that didn't mean anything, but me and Tom did say 2 rookie QBs who looked good. It was a fun game. I saw most of the box scores. I thought the Titans were going to sneak it out. I had the Titans, but Tom had the Saints last week, and it was actually one of his confident picks. Saints won. They took one out. Saints have looked very good under Tyler. And then now here they are taking on the Falcons, who, guys, I called it last week, even though we took the Rams, but I did say ever since I forget who they played exactly, but it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. Falcons started the season so strong, defensively, special team. They look like a solid team. Then they had another resurgence about 3 weeks ago, and they just beat the Rams on Monday night, riding high. Saints Falcons, game that doesn't mean much. Falcons can play upset for the NFC South seeding. Oh man, and it's funny. The odds are close. I'm going to take the Falcons. I'm going to take the Falcons to win, even though I like the Saints. I wouldn't recommend betting on this game unless you know something more than I do. It's 2 teams that are very capable of winning this game. Falcons to win. Falcons to win by more than 3. And as far as over-under 45.5, it's scary because it's the last game of the season. You know what I mean? If it was like week 17, I'd say over easily. But I'll take over and just see what happens because they both put up points last week. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, so you're on point. Like, Falcons have played better, especially since Kirk Cousins was started over Penix and Penix got hurt. Saints have played well. Shuck is really impressive, man. Like, I think he's impressed a lot of people.
He looks good.
He's been playing his ass off. They've been winning games. This is a tough one. This honestly is, because this could go either way. But I'm going to go with the Falcons -3. It like hurts me to say. I don't feel super confident.
Me neither.
I just think, like you said, we're coming off a really high win. I think they're getting more and more confident. They want to close the season strong. Kirk is still trying to prove that he can be a starter in this league, or at least get like a really good backup role with the potential chance to start, compete in the offseason for a starting job. And I think the team is rallying around him a little bit. So I like the Falcons -3. I like the over 45.5. I think the Saints can put up points and the Falcons can put up points. So I think this one will have some points in it. But I like the Falcons ultimately to win at home. I think they end the season on a win streak, and they also basically eliminate the Buccaneers by winning this game.
Tune into our weekly NFL pick series, me and Mr. Tom Ria Sports, where we give players who ball out their props when it's due. I respect it. And I'm shout out to Tyler Shuck for that. All right,
Sure.
Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Bills, I think that you said something about they might be starting they might play half the game or something like that. The Bills starters, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
The Bills are, so I don't, they can move up, I believe, to like the 5th or 6th seed, but they haven't fully decided if they're going to play their starters or not. So if you're gambling on that, stay tuned. It's still up in the air. I would imagine that they're not going to play the whole game. That's for sure.
Listen, it's funny to say because that's kind of how I saw it in my head. I feel like Allen plays maybe half this game. They get a lead. The Bills still win. They win by 7. Jets should actually do the smart thing at this point and take the better draft pick. But Jets better get a turnover. This might be the first season ever by an NFL team without an interception and like 4 turnovers the whole season. It's pretty crazy, but I hope they get a pick somehow this game. Shout out to the Jets. I think the Bills win. I think the Bills win by 7. And I think it goes over. Even though it's low, over under, I think it goes over. What do you think, Tom?
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm gonna tail everything there. I think even if Trubisky starts or plays most of the game, the Bills should still win. The Jets, I don't even have much to say about them. They just need to pack it up. But over 38.5 as well. I'm gonna ride that, and I'm gonna take the Bills money line at home.
All right, guys. New England Patriots. Who's going to get the 1 seed in the AFC? New England Patriots at home taking on their rivals in the Dolphins, who look kind of better in their own right, in the second half of the season. I'm sure they're going to play them hard. And want to play spoiler. Two teams that do not like each other. I'm going to give the Dolphins the 10.5. How about that? But I'm taking the Patriots to win, and I'm actually going to take the over. I know the Patriots have a pretty good defense, but I can see points being scored in this game. Definitely the way Drake May and the Patriots offense looked last week. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots are still playing for something, right? Like, they're playing for the 1 seed. I know they got the division locked up, but they do have a chance at the 1 seed. I would imagine that's really, really important. So I expect them to play everybody. With that being said, they beat up on bad teams. Dolphins aren't the worst team, but I don't think they're a great team. It's in New England and Foxborough. I know it's no Tua, but still, I'm going with New England minus 10.5. I like the over in this one as well. I picked a lot of overs this week, but I just don't think there's going to be a ton of great defense being played all around. And I like the Patriots money line at home and trying to give themselves the best chance to win the 1 seed.
All right, I've been told the Washington Commanders, Philadelphia Eagles, that the Eagles are resting their starters.